Did you not like Warcraft? Well, Warcraft don't care because it is now the top-grossing video game movie ever! So, it didn't do so well in the US.
That's why we can't have nice things.
37 million. But where it really shined, where it really did well is in China with an 185.5 million third weekend, which is crazy. It does propel it to the top spot above another great movie, Jake Gyllenhaal's Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, which we can agree was not good. Yeah.
It should have been fun.
Yeah,
I don't know how they messed that
up. It shouldn't have been Jake Gyllenhaal. It shouldn't have gone where it went.
Yeah, a lot of bad choices were made.
Yeah, I mean, we did talk about this recently. Another guest was here, and he said emphatically to the camera, there is no good video game movie, and there will never be a good video game movie.
Wreck-It Ralph.
There you go. Andy Signore for the win. Okay, a lot of people didn't like this. I think it's up for, so a lot of people do like it. A lot of critics don't like it. I don't think it's another one of those Batman v Superman critics versus the audience type things, because it's just, you can choose to watch a movie or not, or you can choose to read a review or not. So I wouldn't say that it is necessarily a great movie or a terrible movie, also because I'm going to see it tonight. So I cannot put judgment on the movie at all from a personal point of view. But I mean, what this probably means is in the future, there will be movies that are more catered to the Chinese audience or the Chinese market, because that is where a great deal of the
Why don't they just release them there, though?
What
and
do you
make them in Chinese?
And then, like, we get them later in English?
Yeah, it's just like, it's kind of weird.
I think that's not really how the Hollywood movie industry is set up, because it is kind of weird. It's like reworking something.
Is it subtitled, or do they, like, CGI the orcs to speak in Chinese?
I have no idea.
Because that would
Will
be another
someone
reason why
from
it's
China
better.
tell us? Probably not, because the show is not shown in China.
I just thought, I haven't seen it yet either, to be perfectly honest, but I have just no interest to see it. And I know that's mean. I'm not criticizing it. It might be fine. But from everything I've read and seen and the people I trust and talk to, it's like, it's exactly what I think it's going to be, which is just unnecessary. So I'm just, hey, there's no harm done, I guess.
Well,
but
I mean,
I would rather that money be spent on original ideas.
Yeah. Well, when we look at, video game movies or like even superhero movies, a lot of the money is coming from Chinese markets. So one can assume that this will probably be a trend for movies that cost a lot of money.
Well, Transformers 5, remember, shot the whole ending in China, right?
Yeah, and there was parts of an Iron Man movie that was straight up a commercial for Chinese markets.
I think Iron Man 3,
Iron Man 3.
Yeah, which wasn't, there were parts that weren't even in the American release.
Which is, it seems odd, but it makes sense fiscally if you look at the numbers. I mean, it may break your heart.
Is it making a better movie?
Not necessarily.
That's
it's making a more profitable movie.
Correct.
And that could stress you out for sure. But it's, it's not necessarily a goal to make beautiful art, I suppose.
Well, when you're spending that kind of money, I guess it makes sense. You got to make sure you make your money back.
So if you're spending a lot of money, hundreds of millions of dollars, one can assume there's going to be a little bit of consideration thrown in for what will China think? What will China like? What will they watch?
But it's also just going to be silly because now they're going to do all these big movies, and then at some point China's going to be like, yeah, we're bored of these. Give us something else. Right, so it's like, that's the problem with Hollywood is like, oh, this worked. Now do 10 of those. Like, how about be creative and think of what's the next thing that's going to work versus
that reminds me a lot of
trend.
What James Gunn said after he said that movie studios are going to learn the wrong lesson from Deadpool, which is make everything rated R and make it really raunchy and dirty and break the fourth wall. And that doesn't really work for a lot of superheroes. It works well for Deadpool and who he is as a character. But like you said, a lot of it is more like mimicry as opposed to understanding and creating something that is a better product or a product that makes sense. Sometimes that's how we get a lot of tone-deaf adaptations. That's what I think.
I agree.
Oh, boy.
What do they think?
What do you think, audience? Andy's doing my job for me because he is a professional host of movie fights. And there's no fighting today, though.
Well, I'm not a professional. I pretend. I'm very good at pretending.
As long as you get paid some money.
Yeah.
As long as you get paid 1 cent, you're a professional.
That's true.
Audience, what do you think? Did you see Warcraft? Did you like it? Does it deserve to be the top grossing video game movie of all time? And if not, what does? Let us know below in the comments. And please like and subscribe for more.